Love is on the way. I could see it in your eyes. Let's give it one more try tonight, baby. Oh, hey, it's the hardest part of the ring. It's me, Bob Hansen. I'm here to rescue you. How the hell are you? Oh my goodness, we're talking about the Hulu edition. Hold the phone, back the buggy up, stop the press, the Hulu edition, not the regular edition of WWE Monday Night Raw for December 28th of 2020, the last Raw of 2020. And does it ever represent the Raws of 2020? First, over the weekend, wrestling fans, unfortunately, we got the sad news on the passing of John Huber. I hope I'm saying that right. Brody Lee or Luke Harper, depending on what you want to remember him, what name you want to go under, but John Huber, that sucks, man. The dude was 41, wife and kids, 2 kids, I think, is that right? I hope I'm not screwing it up. Oh, Jesus Christ. But anyway, I mean, yeah, to this day, I'm recording this on Tuesday afternoon, and the outpouring is still coming from all of the various wrestling personalities about this dude. So clearly, the dude touched a lot of people. That is a bummer. It was addressed on this show. That was a thing I'm sure people were wondering about. Well, AEW says this, will WWE say anything? Because he's not one of their guys anymore. Thankfully, they kind of throw that stuff aside and go, hey, no, we're still going to acknowledge the passing of the guy, regardless of how you leave the company and that kind of a thing. So we start the show with Hulk Hogan slamming onto the Giant. That's good water. Yeah. And they don't do the 10 bell salute. They do like a graphic up top. And I know there were some fans on the internet that were upset about this. Well, they didn't give it a 10 bell salute. It's just, well, hold on. Hang on. There's a couple of things in play here. I think we're forgetting like a week or two ago, or less than 2 weeks ago, we had the passing of Pat Patterson. And we had the tribute and everything else. I'm not saying a death right after that death shouldn't mean anything or it's not as important. Clearly it is. However, you can make your show only so sad. Like, so, and because of Brody Lee, because of his, most people, it seems like even his friends in WWE called him Brody, so we'll stay with that. It seems like Brody's, because he still had the connection with everyone on that roster more directly than Pat Patterson would have. Not that they didn't love and respect Pat. For this, I mean, you would have seen the talent. My educated guess is the talent would have had a much harder, rougher time keeping it together during that, and it just would have made for an overall sadder show. So I support the decision to show the graphic they show and maybe do something later. I haven't looked on the network yet. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few of his matches or this, that, and the other thing. And maybe do like a mini doc later and some kind of tribute. Yeah, so CM Punk and then Mick Foley followed suit by donating the proceeds of their t-shirts on the ProWrestlingTees.com. All for the next month, all go to the family of Luke Harper. So I'm using all his names now. But yeah, so CM Punk and Mick Foley shirts. Get them in January. Don't get them today. It probably still counts for today. I don't really know, but yeah, get those. And I think AEW is selling a shirt with the same deal as well, with Brody Lee Forever. I saw that on Twitter with that Tony Khan posted. I do whenever Tony Khan posts anything, I like to reply with the gif of Captain Kirk going Khan, and it makes me LOL. My levels are high. What the hell happened? I'm gonna turn the volume down when I record this bad boy, when I export the file. The Hulk Hogan slams onto the Giant, and Drew McIntyre makes an appearance to summon the rest of the Thundercats. And of course he says it's Monday, you know what that means, which was Luke Harper, Brody Lee's running a Twitter gag, and I appreciate a running gag on social media more than anybody. Arguably the greatest running tweet gag of all time. He also did the, what else did he, I think he said yeah, and Alexis does the yeah later on too as well. And there were a couple of discus clotheslines. One of them didn't make Hulu, but anyway, Drew McIntyre comes out with a heartfelt thank you to the fans for sticking with him through this year. And I believed him. It was good. There are a lot of times when when he reminds me a bit of Brett in '93ish, when he just kind of he was competently spoken, like he was well spoken, and but you could tell he meant what he said, so he could be a little reserved, but it was kind of more of a cool hand Luke, kind of like um, I'm going to let my actions settle this, but I'll just say only what I need to say right now. But you still believe him. You felt that when Drew was on commentary for this upcoming match, but I'm jumping the gun. Drew mentions he mentions that former legends are coming next week. I didn't know that. I thought legends were coming. Former legends. They're not legends anymore. They were legends once, but he said former legends are coming. So I guess, all right, Hulk 30, you did yourself in. Sheamus interrupts him naturally. Drew even called attention to the fact that the music interruption is getting a bit silly. Keith interrupts them as well. Sheamus and Drew, I think, were talking about how hard they're going to hit each other, and Keith is very upset. And apparently, Drew McIntyre has the power to make matches because he said, "Well, we should just have the match right now," and he gets the referee out there because I guess there was kayfabe pretending to have had the match scheduled for later. But Drew McIntyre can make matches. He's not the only wrestler making matches tonight. This is not a cry for more authority figures on the show. I'm just saying, what was their plan for a lot? Was there not a format going into the show? I don't understand. Keith and Sheamus have a really. I like this match. It was a good match. It was hard hitting. It was competitive. Sheamus actually gives Keith 2 brogue kicks before the thing, so I think this is a good idea because what do you have to do to Keith to make him fight from underneath? So you hit your finisher twice before the bell. And Drew did something to my toilet's making noises for no reason because I'm clearly not using it at the moment, I promise. Keith did something very small. He did it twice. I don't know if anyone caught it. He wouldn't give Sheamus his arm right away when Sheamus would grab for the armbar. And I like that's old wrestling. Like, no, you got to take it from me. So Sheamus would have to club him with another forearm or two before getting the arm, working on that armbar. I'm glad they didn't do the traditional. I know it makes sense, work on the leg for a big man, but they went another way with it because Keith's got huge legs too. So what do you really do? Keith does win the thing. I liked how they did this. They just pounded each other in the chest. You could hear everything. Keith gave Sheamus a big old bump for his sit-out power bomby finish. Match gets 800 stars. 800 stars about that. And that sets up Keith and Drew for next week to start the new year, which I think is a good idea. I don't like too many babyface matches for Drew, but that's okay because really we're waiting to have Drew and Sheamus, and the one that takes place at the Rumble, which I'm guessing is Sheamus and Drew somehow, is that one needs a heel more than a Raw main event would. So this is good. Elias is playing his guitar with Jackson Races. Elias is playing the guitar. He's strumming the notes, but he never frets, and he's really not striking a chord with the audience. LOL. I make jokes. A lot of jokes. AJ Styles and almost knocks on the door, and he almost gets very upset, but the jokes are already flying about Jackson Riker backing off from Omos, so I'm not going to even bother piling on. But yeah, I noticed it as well. We got a kick out of it. So that sets up a match. That's a heel match for later, AJ and Elias, which is good. Elias is a wrestler you don't see on the Hulu episode anyway every week, so for me it's a change-up. Miz wrestles Grand Metalik. Grand Metalik. That's what happens when I get too much iron in my diet. I take a Grand Metalik. You get it? Did you get my joke? I make a lot of fucking jokes, man. I make so many jokes. You don't even know I make jokes. LOL. Well, I take a Grand Metalik. Morrison had dry hair. That's unusual, but Grand Metalik really pisses off the Miz by winning. He flips around. He's the king of the ropes. He's the king of the ropes, and Miz is. I'm at the end of my rope with Miz having a Money in the Bank briefcase, and what I'm talking about later. Grand Metalik does beat him with 408 stars. I gave this match 408 stars. So they're telling a story that Miz is bummed and he's frustrated and his eye really wasn't on the ball. So grand metal leak pins him with a sunset flip out of nowhere. Funny watching Miz post for all these lucha moves that he usually doesn't have to support people for. Miz doesn't look. He's like me in my better days when, like, I was never like an athlete. I was just a guy who exercised, and that's kind of what Miz looks like. He looks like a guy who's in good shape. I never got athlete from Miz. I didn't get actor from him either. I'm a dick today, yeah. Elias is playing a guitar, and somehow this sets up Omos and AJ. Did they have 2 backstage segments? Am I losing my mind? I think they did. They needed 2 segments to set this match up. Oh yeah, they were backstage, and Elias, I think, said something about AJ's not having too many chances. I think they said that first. Why did this happen twice? What did I miss? I don't remember. There's a package. There's a big, there's a hot, nasty, fiery, inflamed package smacking you in the face, bouncing off your chin, poking you in the eyeball. Another huge package about Randy Orton and a Fiend and the Fire and Alexa Bliss, which leads us to the Bliss playground, and she's on a swing set, and she says that the Fiend would love the legends he grew up worshipping, such as Hulk Hogan. I think it's because Fiend was just burned. His whole body was burned, and Hogan has been slowly burning his whole body till he's orange this entire time anyway, so maybe that's the connection there. She threw in the yeah, which is cool for the Luke Harper. Then Orton shows up on the screen, and he's in the funhouse, and he beats up the puppets. And she said they're acting like he killed the puppets, but he really just he only pulled the head off of one, the rabbit one. And she's crying about the death of the rabbit, but the rabbit one is the one where they do the Kenny gimmick from South Park, where they just kill him in every episode. And that's the only one he really killed. The other one, okay, he took the bird and he threw it into the Abigail and he kicked the pig, but you can still repair the puppets from that. He only really pulled the head off the one that they always kind of squish his guts out anyways. I don't really understand. And he readjusted a picture. So if anything, he slightly improved the funhouse. Be that as it may, Alexa challenges Orton in the ring for later. It was wonderfully vague about that. Oh, we'll talk about it. There's a recap of Nia Jax attacking Charlotte Flair 6 months ago and slamming her arm in a thing and beating her up. But Nia didn't even know the cameras were running. That was how Nia's training at the PC, just hurting people. Charlie Caruso was there talking to Charlotte, and Charlotte cuts a good promo. Like, unlike last week when Nia just buried the fuck out of Charlotte, Charlotte put over Nia as a challenge and everything else. And then Asuka jumps in and blows the noisemaker thing and says Happy New Year. And then Charlotte and Charlie Caruso said Happy New Year to each other. And I like that. Why does every wrestler have to be over the top mean to the interviewer? I don't understand that. It just never made any sense. So it was good to see Charlotte, like, oh, I'll exchange a pleasantry with this woman. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, like people, Not everyone would, but Charlotte's a babyface right now, so what the hell? What the hell? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. AJ Styles enters the ring, and Elias enters the ring to his own song, the Amen song, which is so much better because usually he'd play his own song, he'd do his own speech, and then he did have music for when he won the match. It didn't really sound very good, so this is a catchy tune, and it's very Honky Tonk Man-esque. Like here, it's a pre-recorded song of my own music, me playing my music. Works much better. Almost scares off Jackson Riker again outside. He almost did something in this match, but he didn't. He did not do anything. I'm going to keep doing that every week. AJ Styles kicks out of a couple of finishes from Elias. So you can kind of see where this is going. And again, this is a little long for a heel match, but when it's a 3-hour show, I'm not too surprised. I think this is just wrestle, get him on the show. It's AJ Styles doesn't really have any bad matches. The worst you can get is like a bad opponent with little chemistry, and he's still going to be having an okay match. That's and Elias isn't a bad wrestler. I don't think the two of them really gelled, and we didn't know who to root for. So putting two heels together, it's always hard. You got to keep it short too. I thought it was a little long for two heels. Whatever. The phenomenal forearm over Elias. This match, I gave it 902 stars. 902 stars. No women's match on this show yet. I don't even think. On a Hulu edition? There was 0. Oh, no, Charlotte wrestles Nia shortly after. Whatever. Okay. AJ Styles never slips on a springboard in a rope. Ever. Charlie Caruso is interviewing Nia Jax and Shayna is, she's playing Morrison to Nia's Miz right now. She's just chiming in and being the buddy, and I'm like, this is so dumb, because Shayna and Charlotte should be the match. If not Shayna and Asuka should be the match. I knew this was going to happen. Asuka was going to continue to be on every TV show and barely acknowledged the Raw champion. But when Charlotte came back, you kind of had to see the writing on the wall there. Vince likes blondes. Charlotte looks amazing, by the way. She looks like a star. She's a fucking star. It's good to see Charlotte on the TV selling seashells by the seashore. Well, Nia's not selling anything. Charlotte and Nia Jax have a match. Let's put Charlotte's health at risk. Charlotte goes for the figure 4, and Nia pulls her back by the waist, and Charlotte takes the bump, where it's hardly a bump, but you bang your head off the bottom turnbuckle, and you sell it like you broke your neck, because you're probably going to break your neck. Why are we doing stupid neck bumps with Charlotte Flair on Monday Night Raw, or at all? Or with anybody? Why is that a good... You couldn't have the same effect by doing that in the middle of the ring, and she just takes a bump on her back, or even high up on her shoulders a little bit, and then sells her neck. You couldn't do that instead of, no, bounce your fucking skull off, the back of your skull off the bottom turnbuckle. I didn't like that. I didn't really like seeing it. I guess she's fine. I didn't hear anything, but it's just, I don't know. There's no need for it. Why is everyone going out of the way just to do dangerous shit to make Nia look good? Nia's big enough and supposed to be a good enough of a heel where she shouldn't need to do that. Charlotte shouldn't need to do that for Nia to get heat. No. Whatever. Charlotte wins the thing by DQ. She puts Nia in the hold, and Shayna sneaks up from behind and gives her the choke, and then Asuka makes the save. Okay. I mean, they'll do the rematch sooner than later, which is good. I wonder if that'll be at the Rumble. They're doing the thing where they all declare, people are just declaring themselves in the Rumble, so Nia did that, and I think Shayna did that officially too. So that's how you get in a Rumble, you have to declare it. Why wouldn't you declare it like in February the prior year? Oh, by the way, I'm in a Rumble next year. What is there? Is there a date? Nobody can claim it until late December. I don't know. Because they don't tell us what the rule is. And then they're gonna do this thing where they're gonna have like a there's one remaining spot in the women's Rumble, and these 5-6 women are gonna have this multi-women match when the winner gets that one lonely Rumble spot. And they'll do it with the dudes too, and I don't know. I don't know the answers. Just being Bob. Just being the best Bob I can be. Jumping off the walls, bouncing off the ceiling, punching the clock, passing the buck, working hard but hardly working. There's an 8-man tag team contest. The Hurt Business wrestle the New Day and the Hardy Bros of Jeff Hardy and Matt Riddle. Bobby Lashley declares himself in a Royal Rumble. Okay, he declared it. That's fine. He hereby declares it. Because Trump managed him once, so he can hereby declare it. It's all working. It's all tied in. Everything's tied together. But then, I think the announcers dropped the ball, or somebody made him drop the ball with this. So Lashley declares himself in a Rumble, and then a few of the good guys like toss him over the top rope, which is how you get eliminated in the Royal Rumble. Any battle royal, you must go over the top rope, and both feet must touch the floor. Wish they haven't bastardized that rule, huh? So like like 2 or 3 guys threw him out, and I think they just went to break. Like I was waiting for somebody to be like, "Hey, that's how you get eliminated in the Royal Rumble," and he just declared it. They're trying to send him a message that maybe some of those guys want to be in it too, and they'll have their eye on him because Riddle and Jeff Hardy and yada 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 and Lashley and New Day and Hurt, they all have problems with each other. Yeah, no, nothing. Never mind then, I guess. Never mind. The Hurt Lock on Jeff Hardy for the 3rd week in a row. Is this a running gag now? Is this like the new Lana table thing? Where did Lana go? Man, there's a lot of TV time invested in that. 1,000 stars this match gets. 1,000 stars. Yeah, Lashley over Jeff. There's a segment with Adam Pearce. He basically hands Miz the briefcase back so we can endure more of this fun. This might be another running gag where maybe Miz tries to cash in next week, and then there's another loophole and he gets it back, and maybe we just keep doing this. Or screw it, we'll have WrestleMania and Miz will cash in at Mania and win. I don't know. At some point Seth Rollins may be back too, you don't know. You never know. You never know. They plug Legends Night for next week, not the former Legends. I want to see former Legends Night. I want to see the guys that used to be legends, according to Drew McIntyre. They got Greg Valentine. He was a legend once. He kind of faded. I think Tatanka was in there. He could be on former Legends Night. I mean, Ric Flair. We love Ric Flair. Of course, he's Ric Flair. Of course, he's going to be there. He was going to be there anyway. Big Show is still kind of there. I think there's a list online. Booker T, who's a commentator, Beth Phoenix, who's an announcer there, Michael P.S. Hayes, everyone's still there because everyone who still works there is going to be at Legends Night. We do the Alexa and Randy Orton segment. Alright, Alexa comes out. She's wearing a dark funeral thing. And then she calls out Orton, and Orton's in his sweatpants because there's going to be fire, sort of. Long and short of it is, Alexa dares Randy Orton to light her on fire like he did The Fiend. He's skeptical, and his biggest problem, the biggest reason for his skepticism is not, I will have to light a human on fire, but it's, hey, this might be a setup for someone to give me a mandible claw. So he was concerned about that. Anyway, she dumps watercolored gasoline all over her head, and for a second it looks like, after she does that, puts the can down, then it just looks like she's peeing herself, which is kind of funny. Should I be aroused? Shouldn't be aroused. I really should not have said that. I'm going to leave it in. I don't edit any of this. That's hard. But anyway, she dumps gasoline all over herself, and dares Orton, and then there's the Fiend music plays, and Orton lights a match, and they go off the air, because we don't need to know. We just ended a 3-hour show on a cliffhanger. I'm so glad I didn't watch this live for 3 hours and wait to see what's going to happen. And then have that thrown at me. And that is the most 2020 end of 2020 Raws that you could possibly have. There's going to be a colossal amount of Gaga. And then nothing. Just so you know. It won't be Gaga on a payoff. It's going to be Gaga and fuck you. Wait till the old guys show up, and we'll wait till like an hour into the show to address it too. They'll fucking do that, because they'll probably. It's going to start with either Hogan Flair or Drew and Keith, not Hogan versus Flair. God help you. And then they'll wait and be like, "Oh, by the way, did someone get burned alive?" Even though that's someone. And I'm the biggest Alexa. She acted her ass off. I should say this too, because they think Miz is a good actor because he was in their movies. That's stupid. Alexa sold this bullshit like better than Orton, and Orton's good. Orton's great, but she sold it like to nobody's business. Like she believed everything. Like she started at one level of emotion, and it got more and more and more. It wasn't just 0 to 10, like Miz's outburst, like I won it 10 years ago, blah blah blah, like a week ago or something. Who did he yell at? AJ Styles. like out of nowhere, like fake acting outburst. No, Alexa just let it build and more and more. And you believe she was a crazy bitch who may light herself on fire. We don't know, but I didn't believe the announcers. Orton did his best. Well, I don't know about that. I've seen Orton's best. I don't think this is Orton's best. I think Orton's, give me a paycheck. I got kids. I'll say whatever the fuck at this point. Alexa acted her ass off, so she should be in their goofy movies. I nominate Alexa or Rhea Ripley to be the best candidates for winning the Royal Rumble. The Women's Rumble. That's my opinion. I'll just give it to Nia Jax, as a reward for hurting people. She'll injure 29 people in a Rumble, and that'll be that. But Alexa or Rhea Ripley are my picks for who should win that thing. Probably Rhea, because she's not even really wrestling, but she's doing what she does, but she's all involved in this, so who knows? Because you got to think about the main event, like, is Alexa gonna wrestle? She's a good enough wrestler, but is she gonna wrestle a main event, physical wrestling WrestleMania match? I don't know. I don't really know. I know they put Nia over her in a minute or two and hurt her a couple of years ago, but there's a reoccurring theme. I'm shitting on Nia all over today. I don't know what my problem is. Oh well. I'll tell you. This should not be the last hardest part of the ring this year. I start work, my new job, on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Thursday's last day of the year, so I'll probably be unconscious for a bulk of Thursday. I don't know. This might be the last one of the year. I might not be able to do the NXT one until Friday. It's a real possibility. I don't know the answer. But I know with the NXT one, this is the one with Gargano and Leon Ruff. I don't know what Gargano and Leon Ruff are going to do. But at some point, they're going to go over the top rope, and not to the floor. That's for the Royal Rumble. They're going to stay on the ring apron and take a bump on that area of the surface between the rope and the edge of the ring. And why are they going to do it? Because it's the hardest part of the ring.